And now we're seeing that return once again for Impact. The Shopify are going to lock in Ezreal. We know that you have now the safety and the range being able to space.
Expecting that to continue. In spring, he did experiment a little bit with different style champions, but it was mostly the tanks mid.
He's taking the grubs, as Shopify already answered with the first dragon of the game. Tomio's going to poke around and see if he can get vision. Maybe he can yoink one of these grubs away. He's got, nice, he's in smite range. So that does yoink one of the grubs away from Team Liquid, so they only get 2 from the first rotation. Bot lane is the first one here. They have full control for the most part, but has his ulti available. Dredge line hits APA. He's going to have to jump away. And the rest of Shopify now wrestling control. Umti's back in the river. And Impact has fought for Prio over Fake God. He's going to have to TP back if he wants to help fight.
Yeah, he is likely going to just TP right back. And TL, I don't know if they're going to fully commit. They get one, and they may just be able to back it out after this. We'll see if they're going to try to commit to get an extra one, or if they're just going to be happy with this.
Really nicely done from He's able to time the Q smite to secure one of the grubs away. So both teams will walk away with only 3 grubs. Neither team will have that extra Void Might to spawn on the turret.
And has had non-stop push, so Impact is definitely giving Fake God the hands, and now they're looking for B-Boy.
B-Boy has Flash and Cleanse, but I don't think those Summoner spells are going to help him. He just knows.
3 turret plates top. Yeah, they lose 1 or 2 mid, but still, TL feeling really good now, opening up that Goldie more.
On 2v2 on the Tomio and Zeyzal. AP is going to help win it, and he's going to chase after Zeyzal. He's got no flash. Impact has popped the ghost so he can get in range with the Ram stance. Switches to Phoenix for the slow. A double kill for APA, and just like
they get the kills. The coach is obviously pretty happy about that, but a fairly measured response. This is kind of the expected result, so going to be judged on how clean they can get. No panic smite there coming down from so he'll be able to secure the Herald.
Have to play at.
Yeah, I've just got to say, I mean, I have really got to question Fake God's itemization. He's going full MR here. Big advantages. I mean, we're 18 minutes in, and they're nearly 6,000 gold ahead with only a couple kills, right? It has been about how they've played the map, and this is already completed. He's going to have that fully upgraded before Fake God even gets close to finishing his next full item. And you can see he is just not tanky against this Tristana whatsoever.
Right, and it's so hard for Shopify to actually force.
They're TPing in now, and they're going to try to commit to it.
Oh, Team Liquid are going to take the flip here, or do they want to play for the turn? Okay, but they didn't get contested on the Baron, so it's secured by Impact already there to cut off Zeyzal, and Insanity's going to try to back him up to make sure that Zeyzal
slowly waddling over there. They're not able to get anything, and now it's kind of desperation hours here as Shopify are just chasing after them, hoping they can find something. But as Impact is killing the base, they don't even have a response. The tower is gone before anyone even gets back, and now APA is looking for Tomio.
Oh, APA is going to style on Tomio. He flashes in. The jump will give him the reset. Zeyzal tries to stop it, but you cannot stop the wall of dip from smacking you in the face. Team Liquid picks up a double kill for Yawn.
Oh, this one is so over. TL are stomping Shopify in this one. This is just bullying at this point. I mean, they're taking your base, they're jumping in 1v2 and killing your jungler. They're taking the dragon, they're taking your jungle camps, they're taking...
Yeah, it's a 10,000 gold lead at 24 minutes. Team Liquid, this is such a clinical masterpiece that they are pulling off right now against Shopify. Shopify are going to try to one more Hail Mary, but Zeyzal's already been blown up, and doesn't even go down as he just tanks multiple Mystic shots to the back of the head, and he's just okay. Impact is teleported in to make sure that they still got a front line, and Yawn is just 1v1ing Tomio under the tower while he flashes back. Doesn't have another Spark Surge to fall him over the wall, but you know what? He's a merciful man. He'll let him live this time around. Team Liquid now pushing through the bottom inhibitor and should be making short work of the mid one instead as well.
Yeah, this is tough for Shopify. It's a Hail Mary, but you're taking a 3-pointer. The basket's on the moon. It's a long shot. I don't think they're going to make it. We'll see if they can make it happen, though. I mean, all they can do is just try to fight their way out of it.
Yeah, Fake God still taking so much damage from the double marksman of Team Liquid as they're starting to push in these waves, waiting for the super minions to start coming through. Here comes Core JJ. Grand entrance, and the double marksman of Team Liquid will rip Shopify apart. 2 members instantly gone in the fight. And now Team Liquid should be pushing for the win.
I like how they're diving them at the Nexus, and their jungler's not even there. That's 4v5. Dive the Nexus itself, giving multiple pentakills in a row to Insanity. That's about what we're looking at.
I don't think that's what's happening on my screen right now, Zale.
I
see Zeyzal dead, unfortunately. He has to walk up. He is one of the tanks, but Shopify now down a frontline member, and here comes the final crash of the super minions wailing into the Nexus tower. Shopify Rebellion on their knees praying for a miracle, but that miracle ain't coming anytime soon. Team Liquid are the gods in this house and in this region and in this league. They won spring finals for a damn reason. They have not missed a beat, even against Shopify Rebellion, as they're going to play with their food and the fountain and close out game 1 of the series.
They kill APA, so they at least got a couple kills, but APA taking down B-Boy in the Nexus.
An option that Team Liquid can go to. There it is.
And like, speaking of the Udyr, just for the brand, right? We're talking about, okay, you want prio in this. We'll see if Fake God is able to get that prio.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to recall. He'll be able to get back and get most of it. It's actually good that it's Cannon Waves. APA.
Oh, the solo kill from Insanity, and APA knows that
because look at bot lane. They are getting crushed in bot lane.
Yeah, well, Insanity now not only has the push prio, but also has flash advantage over APA. Is going to fist fight him, but APA, does he have the damage now to fight back against Insanity? No flash for APA, and Insanity, wait, it just dies!
I think Insanity thought he had it all calculated, but unfortunately, I like the self-flame in that.
The self-report is like, hey man,
so bad.
we're both. Tomio can look for the first rotation of grubs and get one objective back over to Shopify's side. I think the big shame, though, is that since APA burned his flash and Insanity has his flash advantage over him, if there's a way to bring Zeyzal over, you could commit a flash to guarantee another kill setup.
Brand is not a good ganking jungler, so Brand alone probably can't get it done. You would need both Zeyzal and Tomio to be there, but guess what? When you're getting slammed in the 2v2, you can't.
Yon, both summoner spells gone. Zenith Blade from Zeyzal, the flash from B-Boy. This is huge for Shopify Rebellion. Winning pushes the reigning LCS champions to be extremely competitive with them in games here.
Yeah, I mean, they have a much easier comp, I think, to execute now. You know, you are just kind of playing like a 5v5 style comp where you can kind of just show up and look to fight them.
Impact goes all out, but B-Boy has arrived, and this turns the tides of the battle in favor for Shopify Rebellion, and knows he cannot commit. Impact is just going to go down to B-Boy.
Top side. They're trying to go for a 6 grub play off of this, and they very likely will get it. So
yeah.
Shopify, honestly, in a really good spot. You're playing with Tristana, you're playing with Udyr, you should have some pressure inside lanes, and you're going to have 6 grubs off the back of that. So going to be feeling really good about their chances in this one.
What a nice bounce back from game 1 into game 2. 6 scrubs now, it's easier to work with, but great bubble into culling. Here comes the Nature's Grasp. Yon should be able to finish this kill on to Zeyzal, and yes, he does, and a teleport from APA will join the fray as he's looking for B-Boy. A lot of damage, one more auto attack, there it goes! Nicely done by the mid laner of Team Liquid.
There.
Oh! We got more action in the mid lane. Core JJ just gets
wants to try to check it, but honestly, would be pretty ill-advised. It's going to get spotted, and Insanity just going to be able to buffer the jump, get out, but here comes Yon. TL maybe want to fight.
Looking for They burned both of their ultimates onto the jungler Team Liquid. Insanity with the flash guarantees the kill. Nice buster shot use. And
high
impact
damage, and anytime someone gets caught on TL, it's going to be tough for them to actually survive the onslaught.
Yeah, here comes Nature's Grasp once again. Fake God will block off the majority of the roots. Zeyzal takes up one as well. Tomio securing the Rift Herald, and now Team Liquid.
That's going to have the gold incredibly close to even here from TL, so it is the Herald. We'll see if they can actually get something with it. We're basically dead.
Scrubs awarded to them, thanks to Tomio, the second dragon. They're going to get their first turret of the game from Insanity pushing on the bottom side of the map. But the fact that Team Liquid are answering with decent objectives of their own makes it so that it's still an even game in gold.
Well, and part of the problem is I feel like Shopify are kind of over-grouping. I think they're worried about throwing the game or getting caught out or whatever. But look at the farm throughout the lanes, right? It's 35 CS in bot lane. It's 20, like, you know, almost 20 CS in mid lane, and it's about 20 CS in top lane, right? So that is a lot because Shopify are just walking around as the goon squad here.
Nice dodge from APA. They dodge the solar flare. They're going to commit onto Yon, but he still has flash to work with, so they can space this one out. And Zeyzal overcommits for the play. Will get punished for it. Team Liquid now the ones in control, back in the driver's seat. Yon flanking from the top right, looking for more damage as tries to flash in to close the distance. Will get burned by the pyroclasm. Decent answer back from Tomio. Impact leading the charge. And it doesn't look like they're going to go for a full-on using these saplings. And the Shopify are going to drop the Rift Herald. This should get the crash into the tier 1 turret. And Shopify have a chance to just burn this dragon.
It's not a good angle. They can just back off, but Impact's going to TP in, so they're going to look for the fight.
Okay. Fake God taking up a majority of the culling damage. He's in trouble. Remember, he doesn't have flash. He only has Ghost, and it's still off cooldown. He gets gunned down by Yawn, and the twisted advance follows Insanity all the way over the red buff wall. He's forced to run, and the rest of his comrades at Shopify are just getting deleted by Team.
Now, have they overstayed their welcome? Because Brand is behind you. You're TPing in here on Fake God. They're going to look for the mid lane.
There's no Pyroclasm from Tomio, so it's all on Fake God to set up the CC, but the all-out repositions Fake God on the other side of the wall. So Shopify have to walk up and catch up to Fake God. Insanity jumping over, finding Yon with the explosive charge, a lot of damage. Here comes the reset, and he finds the shutdown, and Insanity still lives! He doesn't go down to the Leandri's passive. Meanwhile, Impact and Fake God are now in the 1v1 of their lives.
See if API can push him back.
All right, has Flash. And you cannot disrespect Q-Smite, the Solar Flare right on top. Oh, APA gets caught out. It's a massive shutdown for Shopify. And do they still want to...
He'll want back because it was a bit of a silly death. You know, after the initial Valkyrie, you have to play at range. You have to wait for the CC chain perfectly. Insanity comes up with a big play.
Oh, B-Boy!
Oh, that's rough.
I don't know how he got in that position.
Get over there. If Tomio can get a big ult, get some good AoE down, they could potentially take down TL, so we'll see if they can find it.
Okay, Yon steps up, but he's ashes to the side. Solar Flare lands onto him, and they're looking for impact in the backline. Zeyzal's forced to flash over the wall as now tries to chase, but Yon finds Tomio, and Fake God is next. API just needs one more, but he lives! But Team Liquid can now turn to the Baron, secure it, and Insanity is in deep, and he's got nowhere to run. The early recall from Impact, because he's got faith in Team Liquid assassinating this guy, but he's got the blast code. And no way he actually gets out. Okay, Yon cuts him off on the bottom side. It was a nice chip. Woohoo! I mean, Team Liquid still ahead in this game, but Shopify have done a better job at punishing some of the overextensions from Team Liquid. The dive onto 3. I think Umti's just going to dive, but they trade one onto Tomio, making sure that APA can follow up on the engage. So it's jungler for jungler, 4v4 now on the map.
Yeah, Tomio kind of walked up a little bit too close. So they did have the extra man, but APA just guns him down. Takes out Tomio, no problem. They're pushing up through bot as well. So meanwhile, they have that mid lane trade, but bot lane, you lost the tier 2 bot. Now you're losing the inhibitor tower, and Yon is just completely unafraid.
Meanwhile, Insanity was pushing on the tier 2, got some gold back over to the side of Shopify, so somewhat of a trade, but they still have the Baron buff on their side on Team Liquid, so they should be able to take out this tier 3 in the bottom lane.
Yep, going to be able to grab that. At least they got the objective bounty, you know, as he called out. But going to be probably the retreat back towards the dragon here that is now up. Fake God, though, maybe overextended a bit.
They got to be careful because Tomio's respawning and Umti's walking back from the base, but they just might be content in getting one pick off. The push back, Culling rips apart Fake God and tears a hole in Zeyzal's back as well. Impact is just moving on this Cassante before eventually goes down, but Yon follows up with the flash. Team Liquid were ready to end the game, and they don't even need Umti to be there to do it.
That is crazy. Yon is just styling on him here. Dodging everything, playing so aggressive on the knife's edge there. TL are just going to end the game.
You know, Shopify did make it slightly more competitive this time around, but it's still Team Liquid all day, every day when they're the #1 team in the league for a reason. Umti throws out the Nature's Grasp one last time, maybe an extra kill to pad the stats, and Team Liquid will close out this series 2-0.
It's actually wild to me that this was a faster game than game 1. They're going to end it faster than game 1. Last game was 27-minute game. This one is wild. 25 and a half. TL with the absolute killer.
Well, this game, Insanity was really not in good condition mid lane, and Umti told me he's going to come mid, and then I chose to suicide. But then I think Insanity felt bad for me that I suicided, so he said he's going to suicide back to me.
Yeah.
So then his wave ended up getting so bad. And then, I don't know, mid was super free after that. I don't know. I don't want to call on these guys too bad because, I mean, they're not really contenders to the league, so it's just whatever. Like, whatever win.
That's fair. I got a question for you, actually, Core.
Okay.
So we saw the Lucian Nami come back. You guys ended up bringing it back here. First of all, like, we have not seen much Lucian Nami in general, but you guys found an angle to pick it. What's your thought process overall on the pick?
We have the best Lucian Nami in the West.
Best Lucian Nami?
Yeah, we have the best Lucian Nami in the West.
Do you confirm it?
In the West, yes. In the West, yeah. I'm thinking about all the Western bot laners or something. In the West, yes.
So for me, question is just like, with the series. It was a pretty messy series overall, but I felt like at least in game one, you guys really dominated early and found plays. What's your assessment of the series as a whole versus Shopify?
So I think we played very reserved and slowed and then calculated game in the game one, and then we got a little bit of bored. And then we wanted to create some entertainment. I think Ian wanted to save the LCS, so he started. So
LCS. LCS one death at a time.
So usually the person that brings the hammer down is Spawn, but he is not here.
yeah, this is the last time we can like do whatever we want.
When is he coming over? Okay, when is he coming over?
I think Spawn comes tomorrow. I don't know what time, but he's here tomorrow.
Actually, how's Scrim just been with Spawn? Because I've heard his Scrim schedule has just been demonic because he's bad in Australia, so it's like 2 a.m. and all. So how's Scrim's been with him, I guess, online?
I mean, to be honest, it's pretty similar. Like Rainover does the review itself, but Spawn's in the room and we have a big microphone and we have big speakers in there, so we can hear him and he can like give us his thoughts, and then he'll give us a whole bunch of like personal notes, what he thinks we can do better. It's not like the biggest difference. I think it would be nice to have him back in person though.
Okay. And you guys have kept the momentum going overall since MSI. I felt like your mid game's been pretty strong. What have you guys been kind of doing in practice and just in general to kind of keep up the momentum since that point? Because usually people tend to slack after MSI with a break or anything like that, but you guys have just been doing quite well.
I think I had enough break after the MSI, so not much thing to say. But I think we really want to win. We all know season was not over when MSI is done, and then we were not happy with the leader. We want to do better, and I think the biggest thing is like we know we could do better. When there's a hope, people can try hard.
Sounds good to me. And I will see you guys next week. You guys face 100 Thieves. Thanks a lot, guys. And we're going to be sending us straight back to the desk.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Raz. I still call it the lounge just because
True.
I'm stubborn like that. Because we're the
We're
lounge.
lounging.
We're just lounging.
Yeah, we're
At a
lounging.
desk. You can do both. It's fine. Player of the series from this past Team Liquid series. Drum roll, please. It's actually probably pretty close.
I'm not
I know
sure
they're really
if they
split
can.
votes.
Oh,
It
okay.
ended
Impact.
up being Impact. The Udyr Kasante mirror winning both sides, having great macro the whole time, but then also player of the series for the rest of the week. Blabbers, Vent, and Inspired.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing from Impact, again, like you said, winning both sides of the matchup, making Udyr look really unbalanced and then really balanced. Also, shout out to Inspired. I've really liked the way that FlyQuest have approached this meta, putting him on these, and obviously we are seeing a lot more of it this week than we saw of it last week. But these really like power farming AP junglers, I really like that for FlyQuest and Inspired specifically. So yeah, it's been fun to watch them.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first series and then also the series that we just saw, because the FlyQuest series ended up going the distance. First game, they ended up getting Skarner again, and Blippo definitely showed why it is such an LCS ban, even if it's not getting banned a lot in the LCK.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Skarner does get through in LPL and LCK occasionally. I also don't mind this comp from NRG, right? I just think that when you do play out a composition like this, it's really heavily reliant on being able to execute, especially around the Yone and also side lane pressure that you're able to create.
Yeah.
And then second game, it got a little dicey there.
It really did. Contracts had a
NRG.
huge Zyra game. I think in this fight they showed the graphic afterwards, or was this one? In one of the fights he had 10,000
Yup.
damage on just the Zyra. Zyra ended up winning all 3 games in the series. At this point, actually, as Blippo's, just beating Palafox at the back end of the fight, I thought it was going to be a 2-0, but it wasn't. They ended up picking it up in the third game. This wasn't much of a series, this last one.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the jokes about, we're saving LCS, we're making it a little fun. This is the last time we're going to be able to be this undisciplined because Spawn is returning tomorrow to whip us into shape. First game, super clean. Second game, a little bit less clean, but still, like, once they got ahead, especially with these double 80 carry compositions, TL really know when to flip the switch, make the most of their map pressure. Obviously, going in really ham in a lot of these fights, having the team, specifically the Nami, to back him up made all the difference. So I don't know, Teal are just a super fun team to watch right now.
They're really strong. Even that second game that looked shaky was only 25 minutes by the end of it. So Team Liquid made short work of Shopify. Let's pull up the Samsung SSD Fast 5 for this week. Week 2 of the LCS is in the books. Thanatos, top of the fastest 200 CS. He hasn't delivered on all the expectations, but I'd say he delivered on some and has some room to grow.
Yeah, and someone else I think we should be watching for is Quad in that second position right behind APA for fastest legendary, just because I think he had a better series. You talked to him after his first series win in the LCS, and while I definitely think that he is a little bit similar to Jensen in terms of playing that control mage style, I am really looking forward to seeing if he can bring any sort of explosiveness or playmaking to the rest of this fight.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure River got fastest level 6 second week in a row. That's the Samsung SSD Fast 5 for week 2. A reminder that Samsung is partnered with Sleeper and Fantasy LCS, and you can earn bonus points each week for drafting the fastest performers to your team. And since we are at the end of the week, it is also time to award the MasterCard Player of the Week. And this one, I think, was pretty much unanimous across our team. It's Sven.
It's Sven season. It's Dig season. It's setting a record for Smolder stacks. I think he had such a great performance coming in, and I know a lot of people were kind of wondering, like, oh, what's gonna happen? So a lot of these players on the Stig roster, like him, Licorice, Spica, they haven't played professional in a while. Sven, for those of you that don't know, was grinding 80 carry in Korean solo queue, comes back, even in their lost first week, looked really good, looked phenomenal this week. So congrats to Dig. It is Dig season. Sven's back. We're having a good time.
Yeah, 19 minutes he hit 225 stacks on Soldier. It was like 19:02 or something. But the crazy thing is they were actually behind in the game when he did that. Let's look at the standings after 2 weeks of the LCS. Reminder that when the season is over, the game record is going to be the tiebreaker if the match records are the same, regardless of who won the head-to-head match between the two teams. So that game record column is actually quite important, which means Cloud9 and Team Liquid are completely tied right now for first place in the LCS. And unfortunately, Shopify is actually in 8th, even if them and Energy are both 0-2 in matches.
Yeah, basically because Energy was able to take that game off FlyQuest, and then 100 Thieves and IMT tied also in because of their game record.
Hoping for a lot of parity this summer split because spring was so fun. This is the schedule next week, and I actually want to call your attention to the top left. It says LCS continues Thursday and Friday. Not Saturday, Sunday for next week. It's going to be a one-time thing here with Thursday, Friday next week. So make sure you are setting your calendars and alarms. This is the NACL schedule as well. A lot of games to be played. I'm looking at my watch. It says it's the 23rd, so that's week 2 that they're going to be concluding here after this broadcast, because that is it for us. We're going to be back Thursday and Friday. Same clock time, so 4 p.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern for IMT versus Energy. It's actually 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. So let's send it over to the NACL. Right now, we're done. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
See you next time.
Thursday, Friday. Be there.
1 PST.
I'm just committing double kill.
Nice job, guys.
I'm flashing out,
Holy.
They don't have smite. I don't have smite.
Okay.
Can you hook him?